I'm never usually in a chatty mood. Now I'm in a chatty mood, but the thing is, because when you're knitting and crocheting, you're not really talking. So I'm so used to like not talking anymore. Only when I'm in like social settings, you'll hear me talking. I have 5 tips for us today on how to improve your crocheting, because I have definitely started from the bottom all the way to kind of where I am now, and I still even want to get better. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, try more freehand projects. Now the reason why I say try some more freehand projects is because it's gonna like open you up a little bit more to seeing crocheting in a different way. There's like the very traditional crocheting, which I honestly didn't get too much into. The shrugs, you know, the beanies, the scarf, like all those like traditional popular patterns. But then when you're freehanding, you kind of like, maybe you'll do a double crochet here, followed by a slip stitch here, followed by a triple crochet here, and then what you create is something really beautiful and different. Tip number 2, have some flexibility with your knitting sticks and your crochet sizes. You want to also make sure that you don't always have to use a 3.5mm crochet hook. You can literally use a 12mm crochet hook and then go back to a 3mm crochet hook, and same for knitting. Like literally almost all of my projects, I don't follow the recommended crochet hook that comes on the packaging. That this one recommends a 4.5mm knitting stick and a 6mm crochet hook, but for me 6mm is like super big for this yarn, so I use like a 5 or a 4.5. Using a 4.5 actually helps me have a nice finish. You do what feels right for you, and that's also how you can like improve your crocheting. What I personally like, and that's my style, and I get a lot of compliments like, whoa, your piece looks so neat, right? So you really just want to work with your hooks and work with your options, and really you don't have to do it by the book. I mean, that's just what I think, at least when you're trying to like try to improve your skills. Tip number 3, try out nicer quality yarn. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Sometimes I don't really try out the nicer quality yarn because a lot of it is like a wool blend, and I only use kind of like more vegan friendly yarn, so the cottons, the bamboos, the recycled polyester, acrylic yarn, like stuff like that. Oh, I also use organic cotton. Even though nicer quality yarn can be more expensive, I don't mean go and buy like 9 skeins just so that you're buying 9 skeins and you can say you bought 9 skeins. I'm saying go buy nicer quality yarn because it kind of makes you feel like, okay, I don't want to waste this yarn. I don't want to just like play around with this yarn and not like what I'm making. So kind of like it makes you want to work harder, right, to make a nicer project, which can help you improve your crochet skills. Then it kind of makes me feel like, okay, I'm going to make something, I'm gonna follow that pattern, I'm gonna do my best work, and that is gonna kind of make your standard or level you up, is like how I'd like to say. Sometimes you are very skilled. This is another thing. You are very skilled. It could be just be the yarn that you're using. Kind of level up, make sure that you're putting your best effort in when you're working on a piece, and it just helps you improve a little bit. It just helps you focus a little bit more. This one is going to be very like simple, so it's going to be about patience. That's how you have to, that's one of the ways that you can improve your crochet skills, is by patience. In my case, 25 followers on Instagram to 13K. Like that's not really something that happened overnight at all. I can't rush my process, and I can't rush my creativity, right? So you do have to be patient in this work, or in your work in general. I'm embracing that patience because patience is also like a break. Patience is very, very key. The last thing, and it's also very, very simple concept, it is practice. If you guys know me, if this is the first time you're hearing this, because I've said it a couple times, but I crochet and or knit every single day. And so practicing, even if you're just doing little side projects that may not make it to the gram or may not be a tutorial, you're just working on a project to learn something, to practice something, to grow. That's really a great time for you to improve your crocheting skills. So it's quite obvious, you know, like practice. And let me tell you why practice is so essential. When I first, like very first held yarn, and it was my yarn and knitting sticks, I can only knit a square or a rectangle. So basically the regular knit, stitch, row, turn it around. Like I can only do squares and rectangles, which was not easy when I wanted to make a top. Now I can literally knit a balaclava, I can knit a beanie, I can knit a sweater, I can knit so many things that, and now I'm working on knitting like patterns and squares and all this stuff into my pieces only because I practiced and I continuously worked on this craft. It's kind of mind-boggling, especially when I make you guys tutorials. Some of those tutorials I don't even practice beforehand. Like the moment I press play, this might be the first time that I'm making it. So to come to like not knowing how to do anything apart from squares to like being so on the fly with it is very interesting, to say the least. So that's really all the tips that I have for us today. I hope that you are able to learn something from this video and apply it to your own crafts, and you know become the best version of you in life and also in your craft world. I'm super thankful for all of the support on my channel, and I hope that we grow bigger. And if you guys have any recommendations of what you would like to know, let me know. I was also thinking of making a couple things on Instagram, on just like how to boost up your Instagram, things like that. Just thank you so much for joining. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.